So until now we have studied what a research is, what are the objectives of a research, what are the steps of research, the process of research and all. So now we are going on to the practical part of how to write a thesis, or how a thesis will be, how to write an article, and what are the styles of referencing, what are the format of writing a thesis, what are the formats of referencing, and how you would present your thesis in front of everyone, how will you make it into a book, what are the different chapters, etc. So we'll be in short we'll be writing a thesis, or how to write a thesis, or how to actually present your research in front of everyone. That is what we'll be dealing with in this module. So here we'll be looking upon the thesis and article writing and the styles and format of referencing. So first, what is a thesis, or what is a dissertation, what is a project actually? A thesis or a dissertation is submitted by a researcher or a student for a professional degree. So it presents the findings of, so whatever research we have done, the findings of the research or the findings of the study, when we present it, that is actually termed as a thesis. It is actually a very detailed paper, not just a small project of maybe 10 or 20 pages. No, it's actually a very detailed study or a very detailed paper, and it contains right from the introduction on how we got into the subject, what all we studied, what all techniques we used. So everything comes under thesis. So submission of this thesis is actually followed by a viva, a question answer session by maybe an external or an internal, both. Maybe in many of the universities there will be an internal exam as well as an external exam for a thesis. So that is what basically a thesis is. It's actually a presentation of our findings, presentation of our study, or presentation of our research, which should be done for attaining any professional degree, or maybe in the case of some universities even for a normal degree. So we'll be studying how to write a thesis, or what exactly is the format for writing a thesis, or what are the guidelines we have to follow for writing a thesis or for presenting a thesis. So there will be different chapters. We are starting with it. There will be different chapters in a thesis, and they should be placed according to an order. So there will be lots of chapters in a thesis or in a research project. I'll just list it out to you. I'll read it out to you. The first one is the title page, then the certificate, acknowledgement, table of contents, list of tables, list of figures, then the different chapters, that is the introduction, review of literature, research methodology, data analysis, summary and conclusion, etc. Then comes the bibliography and the appendix. So most of the viewers right now, most of you will be very familiar with all these, because you might have done during your graduation or your post graduation. Maybe you will be doing it right now during your post graduation and all. So these are the different chapters that are included in a thesis. I'll read it out once again. The title page, the certificate, the acknowledgement, table of contents, list of tables, list of figures or list of charts. Then you have your different chapters, maybe 5 chapters or maybe 6 chapters according to different universities. Then you have the bibliography and then the appendix. So we'll start with the title page. What is the title page actually? It is the title of the study. What exactly we are studying? Maybe a study on customer awareness of XYZ company in such and such area, or a study of the financial performance of XYZ company of maybe in Kerala, or maybe in Tamil Nadu, maybe in Delhi or something like that. So that is the title of the thesis. Then the title page consists the name of the author, the name of the supervisor or the name of the guide, the name of the institution, the date of submission, etc. So all the the details about the person, the details about the author, and the detail about the title is given in the title page. Next comes the certificate. So the certificate is to assure that the work is actually original work and such a work has not been submitted for any other case. So certificate you may receive from your college, and you may receive from the company that you have worked in, or you have done your internship in, or you have chosen for the study. So certificates are of two types. You might get it from your own college, or you might get it from the company that you have worked in. Then comes the acknowledgement. Acknowledgement means the author's thanks or the author's gratitude to different people that have helped him or her during the study. He may thank his maybe principal, maybe the head of the department, maybe his definitely his own guide, then maybe his parents, friends and all. So that is actually the author's gratitude, and which is followed by his name and signature. Next comes the table of contents. This is actually the index, what we generally call as index. It contains the information about each chapter and the page number. Then we have the list of tables, which contains the title of the tables as well as the page number. Then the list of figures, which comes the title of the figures, maybe bar diagrams, maybe pie diagrams and all. So the title of the figures as well as the page number. Then the introduction. Then comes the different chapters. So the first chapter will be introduction. So the author is trying to familiarize the reader with the topic, what the topic is or how he came onto the topic, what is the background of the study, and what is what you can expect in the following chapter. So that is the introduction. Then comes a review of literature. We have already discussed what review of literature is. It is the analysis of the existing studies in the field. The next chapter is theoretical framework, where we talk about the theory of the research or theory of the subject. For example, if you're talking about if your research is about the customer satisfaction of the brand Adidas, in this chapter you'll have to write about what a brand is. Okay, then you'll have to write about the brand Adidas, and then you'll have to write about customer satisfaction. So just like a textbook, just like how theories come in a textbook, you'll have to explain your concepts in this theoretical framework or theoretical concept. For example, if your subject or if your research is about banking services, then you'll have to write about what a bank is, what are the different banking services. So just like a textbook, how the theories or how the subjects or how the portions or topics are covered in a textbook, you'll have to write about the concepts of those in your research in this chapter. Then the data analysis means the data is presented in the form of tables or charts or diagrams. Then we have the summary and conclusion, where we present our findings and give suggestions. Then at last we have the bibliography, is the presentation of all the sources that have been consulted. And at last we have the appendix. It means the documents that we have used for the study, maybe some balance sheet or definitely the questionnaire that we have used. So these are the guidelines or format that we have to use while presenting a thesis. So what are the good characteristics of a thesis, or what are the characteristics that you should find in a good thesis? It should have an interesting introduction. It should have appropriate headings. Headings should be very appropriate. We are actually coming to the style right now, because each headings will have different style, different font size, different font styles maybe. So there should be appropriate headings. Points should be bulleted or numbered. There should be bullet points or numbered points. Then the information that we provide should be very accurate, and there should not be any plagiarism. Many teachers or many guides complain that the children working under them, they're just copying it from somewhere and pasting it into their own the thing we usually say it as copy paste. So it is actually a copying of someone else's work without even giving due credit. We are just copying it and pasting it into our own work. So plagiarism should be avoided, and the information should actually be very accurate. It should be easy to understand. Do not use technical terms, do not use technical jargons while making a thesis or making a research project. Your research project is actually for someone else to read, so they should be able to understand what you have meant by your project. Then that relevant topic and objectives. The topic should be relevant. We have already discussed in the previous chapter. The topic should be relevant. Don't take topics that have no importance in the current scenario. As well as the objectives also. Choose objectives that are worthy of study, not something which are not actually relevant in this era. And then the last one is making a proper questionnaire. Of a questionnaire we have actually studied the characteristics of a good questionnaire. There should not be long questions, there should not be confusing questions, double barreled questions, emotional questions. So a proper questionnaire should also be there in a good thesis. So these are the characteristics of a good thesis, and right now we are going to jump into the style and form used in a thesis. So what are the things that we have to we have actually listed out the format of a thesis, but even inside the format, what are some styles, what are some forms that we have to follow while writing a thesis? We are going deep inside the thesis, and even from a typing part, typing an introduction. So what all we have to keep in mind, what all do we have to keep in mind while writing a good thesis? The first one is the paper. About the paper, high quality A4 paper should be used. So even that thing is given very importance in the writing of a thesis or presentation of a thesis. So A4 sheet should be used of high quality, and only one side of the A4 sheet should be written. So one side should be left blank and the other side should only be written. So if you are holding it like a book, the left side should be kept free, kept blank, and the right side should be written. Then for printing, A high quality laser printer should be used for the final copy. So the printing should be very good quality and of very good clarity. Then the headings. This is where most of the confusions happen. Heading should be of appropriate size, of appropriate style, of appropriate bold, italics or underlined or anything like that. So it should be appropriate headings. The chapter title of we are actually going deep into the headings. The chapter title, so chapter 1 introduction, chapter 2 review of literature. So the chapter heading should be anywhere between 18 to 24 size. So 18 to 24 size, and it should be bold. Then the main section headings, it should be numbered, like 1.2 or 1.2.1, 2.2. So it should be numbered like that, and it should be of 14 size and bold. The second headings should be 1.2.2 or 2.3.2, so something like that. So you actually get 3 points there, 3 digits there, and it should be of 12 size and bold. Then the first subheadings should be of 12 size regular, and the second subheading should be of 12 size italics. So nothing should inside the inside the chapter, nothing should go above 14 size and nothing should go below 12 size. So we are just playing in the bold, italics and and the like. So it should be the main headings will be 14 bold, the second headings will be 12 bold, the first subheading will be 12 regular, and the second subheading will be 12 italics. So this is a format that we use in any thesis about the headings. Now the font of the text. So acceptable fonts, there are many acceptable fonts in MS Word itself. The commonly used is Times New Roman, we have Helvetica and Latin Gothic. So these are three the font styles that we use, but among this also the most acceptable one is Times New Roman and 12 size. So within the the text that we use, the text that we type inside our research or inside our thesis, we use the style known as Times New Roman, and we use the size of 12 size, 12 regular. Now the spacing between each line, which is called the line spacing. We normally use 1.5 line spacing for writing any thesis. If you are someone of a normal university, you would have known by now 1.5 line spacing. The margins, top margin, bottom margin and the right margin will be given equal distance, but the left margin will be given a little more because we have to actually bind our paper. So normally we use like 1 inch for the top, 1 inch for the bottom, 1 inch for the right side, and maybe 1.5 inch for the left side, maybe 4 centimeter for the left side and 2.5 for top, bottom and right respectively. So these are necessary because for the left side we have to give a little more space because there have to be binding on the left side. Now about the numbering of the pages. So page numbering, what happens is the title pages or the introductory pages as we call it, the title page as well as the acknowledgement, the certificates, table of contents, list of charts, list of tables. So right before the chapter 1 introduction, before everything before that will be numbered in Roman numerals. And after that we will start with Arabic letters 1, 2, 3, and before that, before the chapter 1 introduction, before the all the introductory pages, we use Roman numerals for numbering. Then tables and figures should be inserted at all appropriate places wherever it should be easy to understand. And in our case, in data analysis and all, for every question we used to include a table and a figure for easy understanding. Drawings can also be included if it is a good one. If it cannot be typed or computer generated, then it should be drawn with good black color permanent ink, and it can be added according to it. And maybe Xerox representations can also be of the same drawings. We can actually scan them or take a photostat and then include it in the the thesis. Photographs can also be included if you cannot use any rubber cement or tape for it. Use normal glue and then affix the photographs if needed. Then footnotes. normally if you want to use footnotes, use it, or else it's better to avoid them. Footnotes, if you're including footnotes, you have to number them in Arabic numerals, and it should be all the explanation should be given, the reference should be shown, which part are we explaining in the footnote, so it should be properly given. If you do not know how to use a footnote, do not use it for a normal thesis. Then the computer software. So we can use many softwares for this, as we said, data analysis and all. SPSS can be used, Microsoft Excel can be used, and if applicable, state requirements of the use of the software, why we are using the software, we can state the requirements in the thesis itself. Then the binding will be in most cases, in many colleges and many universities, binding will be arranged by the university or the college or the library itself, because all the theses should be of similar size, all the theses should be of similar material, similar binding and all. But in many cases and all, students themselves use the binding, so you can follow whichever way you want. So these are the some of the points we have to keep in mind while checking about the styles and forms inside the thesis. So on an outside basis, we said what all are the formats or the guidelines of a thesis, starting from the introduction and ending up to the appendix. But while writing something inside, while going deep inside the thesis and typing something, writing something, maybe drawing and styles and references, headings, subheadings, font styles, font sizes, so these are your guidelines for using that. The next one is the citation or the reference style. So we use a reference style or a citation style known as APA. It stands for American Psychological Association, and it is the scientific organization that assembles the publishing manuals of the APA format. So American Psychological Association, they have given us a format which is a very standard format to use while we are giving the bibliography, while we are giving the citations, while we are giving the references, the sources that we have actually taken our notes from. So at the end of the thesis, we actually give a chapter known as bibliography or references. So in that, we cannot just write write the name of the book, write the name of the author in any style we want. There is a very standard format known as the APA format, and we can actually follow that. And it is not necessary that we have to study this format by heart. It is already available in MS Word and all the other Word document files or Word document softwares. There is a software, there is a citation style known as APA format. So in citing a book, if you are giving a book as a source, you use the author's last name, then first name, year of publication, title of work, publisher, place, publisher. That is a format. So on your screen you can see an example of a APA format example while citing a book. Then while citing a general website, if it has an author, we use something like this: author's last name, first name, year of publication, title of the article, title of the periodical, volume number, and the full URL. So you can see on your screen an APA format and an example of a APA format of a general website with an author. And if we are citing a general website without an author, it will be like this: the article title, year, month and date of publication, and the full URL. You can see another example also of a website without an author. So right now you have seen 3 examples: citing a book, how to cite a book, how to cite a website with an author, how to cite a website without an author. So this is the common thing that any person or any child, any student for a graduation or a post graduation would use. So what happens is, if you are giving a reference, if you are writing something in your bibliography, write it in a proper and a standard way, which is the APA format or the American Psychological Association. They have given us a format. Use that because it is very standard format, and it is actually better. The last area that we have to discuss in this module is about Shodh Ganga and Shodh Gangotri, and some other things that you may know. So Shodh Ganga and Shodh Gangotri. Shodh Ganga is actually, it is a platform for research students to deposit their PhD thesis and make it available to the entire scholarly community. So as I said before, your thesis or your research project is not for yourself alone, it is for others to read. So when after you complete your PhD or after you complete your thesis, after you complete your project, you actually have to upload it into a platform called Shodhganga, so that others would know about your project, others can read your project, others can actually take reference from your project. And what happens is, it is not only because others can read your project, it actually ensures easy access, because Shodhganga actually collects the theses from all around, so that there is actually a wide variety of projects in that platform. It raises the standard and quality of research. Someone may actually check your project and they can actually check the quality of the research. They can know if their project is better than yours. They can actually take yours for reference. And one other serious or one other most important thing of uploading it into Shodhganga is actually to overcome the serious problem of duplication or plagiarism that we talked about. So if we check about a topic in Shodhganga, we can actually know if our project is actually done by someone else, or if a teacher or if a guide is checking about his scholar's project, the guide can actually know if this person, if his own scholar has copied it from someone else or not. So we can also overcome the serious problem of duplication there. So this is actually a repository or a big pool of theses or a big pool of research projects, where anyone can upload their own projects and then check for quality, check for plagiarism, check for easy access, and that is what Shodhganga is all about. Next one is the Shodhgangotri, which is similar to Shodhganga, but what happens is, here only the synopsis or only the abstract is given to the Shodhgangotri. Research scholars and research supervisors are requested to deposit electronic versions or the soft copies of approved synopsis to the Shodhgangotri website or the Shodhgangotri platform. So only after they only after they upload it, only after the electronic version or the soft copy of the synopsis is uploaded to Shodhgangotri, only then they can register for the PhD program. So many universities has made it mandatory for students or scholars to submit their submit their theses or the synopsis of their thesis to the Shodhgangotri platform. So this also to avoid duplication of research. So if one person has done a research on a particular topic, the next person should not actually conduct research on the same topic. He should choose something new. He should research about something else or something new or something different from this. So this also Shodhgangotri also allows to to overcome the problem of duplication right from the synopsis stage itself. So synopsis in the Shodhgangotri, what happens is, after the completion of the project, it is uploaded to Shodhganga. So Shodhgangotri means just the submission of the synopsis, while Shodhganga means submission of the whole thesis. So this is about the the thesis writing, the styles and formats of referencing. Referencing is what we actually said, the APA format, and the format and style of writing a thesis. We actually said the outer part or the chapter wise we divide it as the title pages, certificates, acknowledgements, introduction, review of literature, etc. We have given you the notes, and you can see about the notes, and we have studied about the styles and forms inside the thesis, the headings, the style of the headings, size of the headings, and the font, line spacing, the numbering of pages, where to insert tables, where to insert charts, how to insert photographs, etc. So follow these while writing your own thesis, follow this while writing your own projects, and that is what thesis writing is all about.